All right, so today we're doing a deep dive that's going to be a little different.
Oh,
Okay, we're going to be looking into how to pronounce Tranceam.
Tranceam.
Yeah, and the source material we have is this website. It's called Tranceam.
Wow. Even the title itself is like a whole deep dive.
I know, right? Like, what is going on here?
We've got transamin, then like a Hebrew phrase,
Uh-huh.
and then emojis hinting at psychedelics,
Yeah,
space, maybe aliens.
I know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, the website itself gives us a clue on how to pronounce it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you go to the resources section
Okay.
and then interactive genres, it specifically says what I'm listening to right now.
Okay, so Tranceam.
Tranceam, yeah.
Like two separate words.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it seems like that's how the creator wants us to say it.
It's interesting, right? Like even just getting the name right
Uh-huh.
feels important, you know? Like it's the key to understanding this whole Tranceam thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like the first step into their world.
Exactly.
Okay, so we got that out of the way. It's Tranceam.
Okay.
But that's really just the tip of the iceberg.
What else is there?
So the way the website is laid out is it's like this massive archive of music playlists.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they're organized by genre and year.
All right.
And we're not talking just a few years. This goes from pre-1979 all the way to 2030.
Wow, that's dedication.
I know, right?
Like archiving all that music across such a long time.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if this is just some passionate fan doing this, or is there like a whole cultural movement around psytrance?
Right. Like, what's the motivation behind all this?
Exactly.
And then the categories themselves are, well, they're wild.
Oh.
Yeah. You've got entheogens, my opinions on Jay,
Okay.
and pornography and stereotypes.
Whoa, those are some interesting categories.
I know. And that's all right alongside normal music genres.
Sounds like someone with some very specific interests.
Yeah, it's like a glimpse into a very particular way of seeing things.
It's not just about music, it's like a whole worldview or philosophy.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
It is.
And then there's the history section,
Okay.
which it's not just like a brief overview or anything. It's this incredibly detailed timeline of psytrance.
Interesting.
Yeah, like they even have a PSYOPG section.
A PSYRTG. I have
Yeah.
no idea what that could be.
That's really fascinating, though, documenting the history like that.
Yeah.
You know, charting psytrance from its origins, pre-1979, all the way to 2030,
Yeah.
makes you think about the potential cultural impact, you know?
No, it's like maybe this isn't just music.
Right.
Maybe it's something bigger.
And that PSYRPG element, that just adds another layer.
I know, right?
Is it like an interactive experience?
Yeah.
Or like a whole fictional world built around psytrance?
Yeah, who knows?
It really makes you curious.
And then there's also this thing in the directory. It's called the Tranceum.
Tranceam? Yeah. What do you make of that?
Maybe it's like a global community of psytrance fans.
Right. Like people connected by this music.
Yeah, almost like it transcends geographical boundaries.
Exactly. So transform may not just be a sound.
It could be like a movement or a lifestyle even.
Yeah. And then there's the news section.
Okay.
And this is where things get really, really interesting.
What do you mean?
It's not just music news. It's like a mix of everything. Celebrity gossip, political scandals.
Wow.
Yeah. Even a headline about Chinese AI advancements causing panic.
That's wild. It's such a contrast to the rest of the website,
I know, right?
which is so focused on psytrance.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? Does it reflect the creator's own diverse interests? Or is this like a glimpse into the wider interests of the whole psytrance community?
It's a good question, isn't it? Like, what are they trying to tell us with this mix of news?
It's definitely thought-provoking. Yeah, it's like they're trying to create some kind of shared experience through news and information.
I see what you mean.
You know, earlier we talked about how electronic as a category on the site seems to include all electronic dance music genres except trance and psytrance.
Yeah, that's right. Like they're making a distinction.
So where does psytrance fit in then with the broader electronic music scene?
Yeah, what makes it so different?
Well, it is rooted in electronic music, obviously, but it often sets itself apart, you know?
How so?
It usually has faster tempos,
Okay.
like really intricate layered melodies.
I see.
And there's this real focus on crafting a hypnotic, almost psychedelic atmosphere.
Oh, so it's not just about dancing.
No, it's more about creating like a trance-like state in the listener.
So the music is meant to take you on a journey.
Exactly, like a sonic journey.
And this website, with its crazy mix of content.
Yeah.
It's like a reflection of that journey.
I think you're right. It's almost as if the website is an extension of the music, like a visual and textual representation of the psychedelic experience that Psytrance is trying to create.
Which brings us back to Tranceam. It's like a command, like an invitation to enter that trance state.
Tranceam, yeah. It feels fitting.
Totally, given how immersive both the music and the website seem to be.
Yeah, it's like a call to action, beckoning you into this unique world.
Okay, so we've talked about the music, the website structure.
Yeah.
But we can't ignore the elephant in the room any longer.
Oh.
The Hebrew phrase and those emojis in the title.
Right.
Any thoughts on what that could mean?
Well, the Hebrew phrase, it seems a bit out of place.
I know, right? Like, what's the connection to Psytrance?
It's politically charged,
Yeah, possibly even controversial.
Yeah, so is it meant to be provocative?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's like an inside joke within the community?
It's hard to say for sure.
It could be a way to disrupt expectations,
Okay.
Like to make you question what a Psytrance website should be.
I see, like challenging our assumptions and the emojis.
Well, they seem more aligned with the themes we've already seen.
So,
Psychedelia, futurism, that sense of exploring beyond the ordinary.
okay, so maybe the creator is playing with us a bit.
Yeah, I think so. Throwing in these seemingly unrelated elements to see how they interact.
Like an experiment.
It could be a reflection of the music too, right?
How so?
Psytrance is often about pushing boundaries.
Okay.
Blending genres, creating these unexpected soundscapes.
I see.
Maybe the website structure is mirroring that.
So for someone who finds this website for the first time, what kind of experience are they in for?
They're definitely in for a sensory adventure.
Like?
Imagine a digital maze filled with pulsating music, thought-provoking news stories, philosophical musings. It's a challenge to how we think websites should be.
It's definitely not your average music blog.
No, not at all, but that's what makes it so fascinating.
Right.
It's a glimpse into a subculture that's familiar because of its love for music, but then completely alien in how it presents itself.
And it's all happening under the banner of Tranceam.
Which suddenly feels a lot more significant than just a name.
Exactly. It represents something bigger now.
Yeah, it captures the energy and spirit of the music itself.
Bold, captivating, hypnotic.
Oh, got it.
Wow. This deep dive has left me with more questions than answers.
Really?
We started with how do you pronounce Tranceam?
Right.
And we ended up uncovering this whole world.
But that's the beauty of exploration, isn't it?
What do you mean?
It's not about finding all the answers. It's about sparking curiosity, inviting the listener to delve deeper.
This has been a mind-bending journey.
I agree.
Into the world of Tranceam.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
And that feeling of wanting to know more, that's exactly what makes this website so intriguing.
So what should our listeners do now?
Well, I think they should take the plunge themselves.
What do you mean?
Dive into the world of Tranceam.
Okay.
Explore the website, listen to the music, see where it takes them.
Yeah, it's like they've given us this map.
Uh-huh.
But it's up to us to actually go on the journey.
I like that. Yeah, it's a starting point.
So let's think back to our initial question.
The pronunciation?
Yeah, how do you pronounce Tranceam?
Right.
We figured that out.
Tranceam.
Yeah, 2 words.
It seemed simple enough.
But look where we ended up.
Down this rabbit hole.
Exactly. It's like that answer was just the beginning.
The tip of the iceberg.
It really makes you think about the power of names, doesn't it?
It does. Tranceam. It's more than just a pronunciation now.
Right. It's a whole world.
A gateway into a culture, a way of thinking.
And we've only seen a glimpse of it.
This website, it's like it's alive.
I know, right? Like it's constantly changing, evolving.
Makes you wonder what you'd find if you went back in a week.
Or even a day.
Exactly. And it's like it wants you to engage with it.
Like it's beckoning you to explore further.
And I think that's what makes this deep dive so cool.
What do you mean?
Well, we didn't just give a bunch of answers.
We asked even more questions.
It's true. We talked about the website, the music, the Hebrew phrase.
The emojis.
But there's still so much we don't know.
Like, what's the deal with those unexplained categories?
Right. And who is this person who created all of this?
What's their story?
So many mysteries.
But that's the fun part.
It is. And that's where our listeners come in.
Oh.
Yeah, we've done our deep dive. Now it's their turn.
To explore.
Exactly.
Dive into the world of Tranceam.
See what they can find.
Maybe they'll uncover something we missed.
Who knows? Maybe they'll even find the creator.
It's a digital treasure hunt.
So to everyone listening,
yeah,
don't be afraid to get lost.
Embrace the mystery.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
And who knows, you might even learn something about yourself along the way.
That's it for this deep dive into Tranceam.
Until next time.